there. How's it going? I don't know, even know why I keep trying to tell you what day it is. I have no idea what day it is, but hello, and I hope that you are having a good evening. Welcome to my live. Say hello as you pop on so I can say hello back to you. And so I know who's on the broadcast. So, I'm a little later than usual tonight, but what's the saying? Better late than never. So I'm here and I am going to be wrapping up what I started yesterday. I was talking about giving you some tips on creating a Rockstar resume that employers will actually read. I mean, because it's one thing to write a resume, it's another thing to send the resume, but it's a whole third different thing to actually have your resume make it through the cut to be read by an actual human being. So that's what we're talking about tonight, how to get your resume put together in such a way that an employer actually will read it. It'll actually get far enough in the process for an employer to read it. How about that? So I am Vashana Weatherspoon, career strategist and excellence accelerator, helping women who feel frustrated in their careers to emerge from stuck and surge to their next level of success. I'm also the host of the Know Your Worth Career Podcast that will be debuting soon. Ding, ding. And it's all about helping women in their careers with situations that we often find ourselves in that prevent us from having the pay that we want, the satisfaction that we want, the fulfillment that we desire, the opportunities that we a lot of times don't have access to. And we bring on special guests who talk about an array of these different issues and bring some expertise to how you can overcome some of these obstacles. I like to call it the murky waters of the employment place. Help you overcome some of those things. So that's what it's all about. Stay tuned. I'll be announcing more about how you can catch the podcast. Actually, you can look on my website and see a few episodes there, but a more official holding spot for it will be coming soon. So I'm here tonight because, like I said, I'm going to be giving you some tips on how to create a rockstar resume that employers will actually read. And if you see me toggling my head back and forth, first of all, I just do that. But secondly, I am simultaneously broadcasting, so I'm looking into two different cameras so you'll know what I'm doing and not think that I'm, having some kind of neurological issue over here. So before I jump right in, because I want to jump right in, it's late and I want to get you off of here and on to the rest of your nightly activities, I want to give you an opportunity to like and share this video, to tag a friend, tag a coworker, tag a loved one, someone that you know can benefit from this information because they're struggling, trying to find a new job. Maybe they've submitted 700 resumes, and I'm really not exaggerating, and they haven't gotten any calls back from from those resumes. That's a cue that something is wrong. You need to go back and reconsider that first step if you're not even getting calls back on your resume, okay? So what I am gonna do is just jump right in. So get your paper out, get your pen out, and take a few notes if this is something that you need to know about. So I started off yesterday with tip number, I call them rules. My rule number 5. So I'm picking up today with 6 through 10. So the rule number 6 for writing a resume that a potential employer will read is to keep it clean and simple. From the paper that you choose, to the type of font that you use on your resume, to the formatting, make sure I mean, I know it can be tempting. Let's get that out of the way. It can be tempting to want to do something fancy because you want to grab the attention of, the person who gets an opportunity to read your resume, especially if you're mailing in a copy. And I'm talking about if you're mailing in a copy at this point. But try to just stick to the basics. You want to wow the employer with, not with, colors, and that's not what you want to be known for, paper and colors and that kind of thing. You want to stand out because of your actual skills, your experiences, the things that you say that you can offer to that potential employer. Those are the kinds of things that you want to stand out for you. You want that to speak for you in your resume, okay? So keep everything else clean and simple so that it's easy to read. And, the employers can get through it more quickly, because I talked about last night, if they have a lot of applications that they're reviewing at one time, the first cut is just a skim. They're just, kind of skimming through, see who makes the cut so that they can actually go back and read more in depth your resume to see, what skills and abilities you actually have and what you can offer to them and bring to the table. Okay. Rule number 7 is to keep it short and succinct. So I talked about succinct yesterday and, being concise and choosing your wording carefully, because you want to ideally keep it to one page. A resume, like I said, is a summary, so it should be short. One page is ideal. However, if you, and I get it. I know that one page sounds like it's, impossible to do probably. But, if you can, keep it to one page. If you absolutely have to have extra room to talk about your experiences and your skills and, your accomplishments and so forth, do so, but maximum 2 pages. Keep it at a maximum of 2 pages, because that's something that won't overwhelm a person who just looks at it at first glance. They'll think, oh, I can get through this, and you'll have a better chance of actually getting your resume read. So, and you always, there's the interview. There's the interview where you can really elaborate and go into more detail and really talk about all the things that you are tempted to say in the resume, but save it for the interview. I see some waves coming in on Instagram. Hello, how are you? And rule number 8 is to research templates. So there's templates, all kinds of templates online. There are for resumes and for any other thing for that matter. But since we're talking about resumes, and do take advantage of them. Go and look online, see what is available, but use them as a guide. Don't be tempted to take what you see on the internet and use it, exactly in the format that it's in, because if it's on the internet, everybody else is seeing it and using it as well. And so if your purpose is to stand out, then if your purpose is to stand out, then you don't want to use what everybody else is using, and it just looks like, run of the mill resume number 895. You want to take that and get an idea of, how yours could look, and then just maybe take 2 or 3 and pick and choose the things that you like and compose a format all of your own. That's something that's unique for you. Rule. I want to say tip tonight. Rule number 9 is to be sure to proofread. Proofread, have somebody else proofread, have somebody proofread after that person proofread. It's so important to make sure that you have a resume that is mistake-free. Because if you submit a resume and it has a bunch of errors in it, it's going to win you actually not even a round trip ticket. It's going to be a first class ticket to the trash can. Okay? Because people are going to think that you're not serious. You didn't even take the time to, prepare seriously for submitting the resume, and they'll take it as that's how you will approach the job. So you want to make sure that you don't have any errors, grammatical, any typos, any incoherent, or you know how sometimes you can start a sentence and then your train of thought shifts or you get interrupted or something. You want to make sure that you just go back and make sure that your entire resume flows, that it reads well, that it is error free. And rule number 10, and I say this all the time, but I keep saying it because it's so important. It's just that important. But don't just create the resume that you learned to create in high school. And you know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about, at least this is what I learned. I don't know what you learned, but what I learned was you have you put your objective and then you have a bunch of bullets. And the bullets, I mean, really they are so, I typed letters for the director or something, and I'm just making this up. It's just made up. But you know, and it's 1, 2, 3. It's like very, very, I'm going to call it elementary. And just because, you know, at that point, I think we probably didn't have a whole lot of job experience. It was fine. It was fine to put something like that down. But as a more seasoned and experienced career person, then we have to do something that is reflective of that. So I say, don't just, you know, go making a bunch of bullets that looks like it's something that you pulled out of the position description. You want to take the time to explain. So explain or elaborate on your skills, elaborate on your experiences. Sometimes I refer to it as telling a story. Like I said, it's not really telling a story, but it's giving a little more detail to that single bullet that we were taught to use to help the employer to understand the depth of your experience, the level of your skill set, how you used it, so that they can understand what it is that you can offer to them in their employment position that they have open. So you want to be able to try to make a case. So, and don't forget, you only have that 1 page, 2 pages max. So you can't write, you know, really long paragraphs or whatever. You have to be very careful with the words that you select that's going to highlight your skills and your experiences. And don't forget to put that little, now this one can be a sentence. After you talk about your skills and your experiences and you elaborate on them a little bit, I like to put a sentence right up under that tells what my accomplishment was in that position. So it not only says these are the things that I did, but it says this is the impact that I had when I did those things in that position. This is something that I got awarded for. This is something that I, you know, got some kudos for, or whatever the thing happens to be. This is where I saved my company a lot of money. This is where I created something that created, you know, mad efficiencies in my organization. And it really helped, you know, to catapult us to the next level, whatever it happens to be. I'm just making things up. You know from your real experience what that XYZ thing would be. But that's what's going to help to make you to really stand out and to really shine with the employer, is when they can clearly delineate what it is that you're bringing to the table, what you've been able to accomplish in the past. And if the past is a predictor of the future, then they know that you're going to bring more of that thing with you to their job, and they're going to really want to talk to you to, you know, find out more about it. So those are my 10 tips on things that you can do to create a rock star resume that employers will actually read. Okay. So before I leave, I want to share with you, and I'm just, you know, at this point, I'm sharing with you the fact that I am going to be releasing a career plan. It's a career action planner. It's called Your Next Level Career Action Planner, which is going to complement all of these things that I've been talking about and help you to figure out how to successfully plan out actions, actionable items that you can be held accountable for. And we'll talk about how you can do that so that you can make sure at the end of this year, by December 31st, 2019, you have accomplished the goals that you set for yourself in your career right now in January of 2019. And you know all about resolutions. People make them and they are good for a couple of months and then they kind of fall off. This is meant to help you to stay on track and to keep moving forward and making progress. So I'll be sharing more with you about the release date as it comes closer. But in the meantime, if you are undecided about what that career path needs to look like, but you want to make a change, I have an absolutely free 3-part e-course entitled Career on Fire, 3 Steps to Your Next Level. And it's about an hour worth of content broken down into 3 different segments, and it walks you through different activities, different steps that you can take to help you to figure out what that ideal next level looks like for you. You can get your free copy at my website at www.vashanaweatherspoon.com, which is my name. Put in your details. It'll send you an email. You can have it in your inbox tonight and go ahead and get started. So if you come up with the fact that you want to do something different, you're not quite sure what that something different looks like, this is something that can help to get you on the right track. So before I depart, I want to give you an opportunity to like and share this video. Thank you, 47ALA, for the thumbs up right back to you. And I hope you have a wonderful night. Again, like and share the video. I will talk to you soon. Have a wonderful evening. Bye-bye.